Behind the hype is a darker side that nobody is talking about. People skipping meals, losing hair, overdosing because they think faster is better, feeling empty, faces collapsing. That's not transformation. That's deterioration disguised as success. I'm Dr. Seth Osgood, and this is your metabolic comeback story. So our society is actually getting thinner and sicker at the same time. People are celebrating their shrinking waistlines, but they're losing their strength, their glow, and more importantly, they're setting themselves up for some health issues down the road that their doctors aren't warning them about. There is no questioning the fact that modern medicine's approach to weight loss is broken. Over 40% of adults in this country are obese. That is not a failure of willpower, that is a metabolic catastrophe. Diabetes, fatty liver, infertility, depression, all of it traces back to one root cause: a metabolism that is exhausted, inflamed, and completely confused. And what's the new miracle fix? Well, it's a weekly injection touted as yielding effortless weight loss, minimal side effects, no effort, no lifestyle change. It's pretty much you just shoot it up and you're good to go. It sounds amazing, right? If only this were true. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not against these therapies. In fact, I am a big fan. We use them all the time in the clinic. But what I'm against is how they're being used. Fast, reckless, they're being overdosed, and patients aren't getting any education. When you use power without precision, you create problems. And in this case, your body is the one that pays the price. You wouldn't hand the keys of a Ferrari to someone who's never driven before. And that's happening right now with what we're doing with these weight loss peptides. These peptides, the GLP-1s, the GIPs, and now the triple agonists, they can be incredible allies when they're used intelligently, but used carelessly, and they can strip your muscle. They can crash your hormones. They will wreck your gut and leave you feeling flat, drained, and defeated. The goal isn't to make the scale drop. The goal is to restore metabolic intelligence, to reteach your body how to actually burn fat, build energy, and stay strong for life. Everywhere you look, the craze is spreading. Hollywood stars, social media influencers, friends and family members all bragging about their skinny shot. Prescriptions for Ozempic and Mounjaro have exploded 400% in 2 years. These drugs will top $40 billion this year and are on track to hit over $100 billion annually by 2030. One of the most profitable drug classes in history. But behind the hype is a darker side that nobody is talking about. People overdosing because they think faster is better. People skipping meals, losing hair, feeling empty, faces collapsing as collagen and muscle melts away. That's not transformation. That's deterioration disguised as success. When you lose weight too fast, your body goes into survival mode. It breaks down tissue, not just fat, but muscle, collagen, and bone, something I am confident we are going to see and hear more about in the years to come. You get smaller, but you also get weaker. Your skin thins, your metabolism stalls, your face hollows. That's what people are calling Ozempic face. It's not a meme, it's a red flag. Your body isn't sabotaging you. It's begging you for nourishment. But because your appetite is so suppressed, most people stop eating enough protein and they lose the very tissue that keeps them youthful, strong, and metabolically active. At Grassroots, we aim for a sweet spot. I like to see a weight loss of about 1 to 2 pounds of fat per week. I know that doesn't sound very appealing because it's slow, but that's where you want to be. That's where your body adapts, it heals, and it maintains its strength. Real progress isn't about speed, it's about sustainability. Push too hard and yeah, you might win the short-term battle, but you're going to lose the long-term war. You don't become stronger, you become fragile, and fragile is not the way you want to age. So what's actually happening inside the body with these peptides? Why do some people thrive and other people crash? Well, what it comes down to is incretin hormones. Incretins are messenger molecules your gut makes every time you eat. They tell your liver, your brain, and your pancreas how to handle food. when to store, when to burn, and when you need to stop eating. There are two big players in the incretin world, GLP-1 and GIP. GLP-1, that's glucagon like peptide 1, was the first incretin to take center stage. It slows digestion, balances your blood sugar, and tells your brain that you're full. That's why drugs like Ozempic and Mounjaro work so well. They amplify that GLP-1 signal. But GLP-1 doesn't do it all, and that's where some of these GIP incretins come in. Glucose dependent insulinotropic polypeptide. It fine tunes how your body stores and uses energy. In a healthy system, GLP-1 and GIP work together like a duet. GLP-1 slows things down while GIP fine tunes the rhythm. But when insulin resistant hits, that duet falls apart. Communication breaks down, cravings spike, fat accumulates, and energy tanks. And that's why these newer medications or peptides like tirzepatide, also known as Mounjaro or Zepbound, they come in and they aim to fix that. These dual agonists, they wake up both GLP-1 and GIP at the same time. GLP-1 says stop eating, GIP says use that fuel efficiently. Together, they create metabolic harmony. And now the next frontier that you're going to start hearing a lot about are triple agonists like retatrutide, GLP-1, GIP, and now glucagon. That third one is like a fat burning switch. Now you're not just suppressing appetite, you're burning more calories at rest, right down to the mitochondria. Studies show up to 24% body weight reduction in under a year. That is insane. But again, power without precision leads to problems. Lose too much, too fast, and you're going to lose muscle, collagen, and bone. Your face ages, your energy drops, your metabolism collapses. That's why education and monitoring are non-negotiable. These are precision tools, not toys. Used right, they can transform your health and your metabolism. Used wrong, they can destroy it. Here's where it gets exciting. GLP therapies go beyond weight loss. We're seeing improvements with liver repair, reductions in fatty liver and inflammation, heart and kidney protection, even in non-diabetics. They have an immune modulating effect, meaning we're seeing improvements with autoimmune and inflammatory conditions. People with Hashimoto's, lupus, rheumatoid, they're feeling less pain and they're gaining more energy on these therapies. We're also seeing early signs of benefit with type 1 diabetes, where blood sugar stabilizes and insulin needs drop. And then there's the brain, huge potential here. GLPs cross the blood-brain barrier, reduce neuroinflammation, and are being studied for Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and even cognitive decline. Some research even points towards cancer risk reduction because regulating insulin and inflammation lowers the risk for obesity-related cancers. This is bigger than fat loss. These peptides are teaching your body to communicate again. They're restoring metabolic harmony. GLP-1, the brake, GIP, the gear shifter, glucagon, the gas pedal. At Grassroots, we teach you how to drive. If fat is your storage tank, muscle is your engine, and most people today are running on empty. Muscle drives metabolism, hormones, and longevity. Lose it, and everything slows down. That's why our focus is fat loss without muscle loss. We encourage strength training at least 3 to 4 times a week, hitting every major muscle group. We prioritize nutrition and protein at least 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of ideal body weight. We also push nutraceuticals like L-leucine and creatine. One of my favorite products is the Root Fix Clean Creatine. You need to try it out. It's a single ingredient powder shown to preserve muscle mass, boost recovery, and fuel your mitochondria. It doesn't taste like anything. It's absolutely phenomenal. Remember, peptides amplify what's already in motion. Let me say that again. Peptides amplify what's already in motion. They don't replace discipline, they reward it. We also optimize sex hormones, thyroid hormones, gut function, and mitochondria because if those are off, results just plateau. We test everything. We look at thyroid, testosterone, DHEA, estradiol, cortisol, micronutrients, and more. We track data with our in-body composition machine or our PNOE metabolic assessment device, looking at VO2 max and various other aspects of longevity. So once the foundations are strong, that's where we can look outside of the box. We may also combine the GLP and GIP peptides with growth hormone stimulating peptides like sermorelin, CJC 1295 with ipamorelin, and tesamorelin. These peptides are absolutely phenomenal and doctors aren't talking about them. They rebuild muscle, collagen, and they help with recovery. They balance mood, enhance bone health, and promote deep sleep, just to name a few of their potential benefits. That's metabolic symmetry. Burn fat, build muscle, restore energy, and protect longevity. But here's the truth: no peptide, no supplement, no program will save you from your bad habits. Nutrition, movement, sleep, mindset, that's where the magic begins. Most people overdose thinking more is better. They undereat, they starve their metabolism, they skip training, they ignore labs, and they try to DIY everything. Listen, peptides are not DIY projects. They demand precision, guidance, and accountability. At Grassroots, we don't guess, we partner, we test, track, and teach you to use these tools correctly, because this isn't about dependency, it's about momentum. When you feel stronger, clearer, more confident, you show up differently in every area of your life. That's the transformation we're after, inside and out. But let me be real with you, these peptides aren't magic. No matter what they say online, they are multipliers. They magnify whatever you're already doing, good or bad. If your lifestyle is garbage, they're going to accelerate your downfall. But if you're ready to do the work, to take ownership, they can change your life for the better. Here's our blueprint for sustainable transformation at Grassroots. We test comprehensively: hormones, the gut, nutrients, mitochondria, adrenals, toxins, and more. We start by balancing the fundamentals: inflammation, sleep, and stress, because if those aren't dialed in, nothing else sticks. And then we may use GLP and GIP peptides with precision and micro dosed. And I'll say it again: micro dosed. You don't need much. Sure, it's better for Big Pharma's wallet when you burn through these peptides at the highest possible dose. But what it's not good for is your health, your appearance, and your quality of life, or your longevity. We build muscle through resistance training and smart supplementation. We stack growth hormone peptides for recovery and longevity. And we track every metric that matters, because results should be measured, not guessed. And the ultimate goal: to earn your way off of these therapies. Ultimately, you don't want to be dependent on anything for the rest of your life. To do this, you have to develop the lifestyle and the discipline to make it a reality. That is real healing. And yeah, it takes work. You've got to move, you got to lift, eat, rest, and then you got to repeat it all again. You've got to become the kind of person that does what it takes, not just what feels good. But you can do this. You need to do this. Your body is built to heal, adapt, and thrive. It just needs the right environment and the right guidance. At Grassroots, we use these tools responsibly. We use them intelligently, we use them holistically, and we back them with data. We protect your muscle, we safeguard your metabolism. We focus on long-term health, not short-term vanity, because the goal isn't to shrink your body, it's to expand your potential. If you're ready to stop outsourcing your health and start taking control of your metabolism, go to grassrootsfunctionalmedicine.com, schedule your discovery call. I'm Dr. Seth Osgood, and this is your metabolic comeback story. This is the future of medicine: not quick fixes, not dependency, ownership, transformation, and your time is now. Thanks for watching.